Hi there, how are you doing? And I was just going to wait and see if anybody comes on. Let me know if you can hear me. That would be great. If there's anyone there, because I can't see anyone. Interestingly enough, this is different. Okay, well, hello and welcome. So this is a new series that I'm going to be starting, and it's essentially planning by the moon cycles, as my post had said. So this is the full moon in Aries, and planning by the moon cycles is an ancient and very valid way of taking charge of the energetic cycles inherent in the moon cycles. The darkness of the new moon, for instance, speaks to going within and making new plans and setting new intentions. And the full moon illuminates what we have in front of us to reevaluate and restructure for projects that we have on hand, or projects that we have thought of, was to start looking at how we can put those into progress. So if you'd like me to send you my handy little moon planner, let me know in the comments below and I'll send that to you in a DM. So essentially a moon cycle is 28 days. So new moon to new moon would be 28 days. And it's essentially the same cycle as a woman's menstrual cycle, which is really interesting. So just as a side, but the cycle we'll be working on tonight is the full moon to the next new moon, which is on October 16th. So the full moon was officially yesterday, but we're still in the energy of the full moon. So again, all of that is in the moon cycle planner. If you want a copy, please let me know in the comments below. So the full moon really is a watery energy. The sea tides, for instance, are strongest during the full moon. Even the water in wells surges up during a full moon. So our entire Earth's tidal energy is affected by the new moon. You might feel that your moods are different during the full moon and the new moon. In the full moon, we might be sort of more extrovert. We might feel more cranky, and our emotions may become a little more extreme. We feel tired. If you're an empath, you might feel sort of on edge, and interactions with people feels really tiresome and edgy. So just be aware of that during the full moon, that you might have this extra surge of emotions. And you might actually notice during the new moon that it's darkest, and you feel sort of like you want to sort of go inside and sort of go into your little cave and be more introspective. So water energy is all about emotions. If you look in any sort of spiritual practice, the water will always represent energy. In the tarot cards, for instance, it is represented by the cups, and so the cups and anything that holds water is essentially seen as a emotional, energetic symbol. And this month, beautifully, we have two full moons. One is on the 1st, and then another one is on the 31st of October, which is really exciting because that's also Halloween. So it's going to be interesting to see what that energy feels like at the end of the month in the Halloween time. And this full moon is in Aries, and Aries is one of the astrological signs, and Aries is actually the beginning of the astrological cycle. It's not actually in January that the cycle starts. Astrologically, the cycle starts with Aries, and Aries is represented by the Emperor. in the tarot card, which is why my heading was talking about the Emperor and the Tower. So what I generally do is with these sort of tarot card and moon mashups is that I look at the energy of the astrological sign that the moon is in, and then I pick the tarot cards that match that, and then I read the energy for the next 2 weeks based on that matching. So with the full moon in Aries, we're looking at the Emperor card in the tarot deck. It's a beautiful card. It really speaks to that full-on masculine energy, dominion. It's about status and power, recognition, leadership, directing others, manifesting goals, reliability, stability, stoicism, all of those sort of very powerful leadership roles. And Aries is very much like that in terms of how it represents people. It's very fiery. You can see all of this yellow hair. It's a very fiery card. And so Aries is also ruled by Mars, the planet Mars. Again, a very fiery planet. Mars is about movement forward and dynamic movement and fiery passion, that kind of thing. And Mars in the tarot is represented by the Tower card. Now, the Tower card is sort of a very ominous looking card. You can see lightning flashing, it's everything on fire, people jumping into the stormy waters below, and it can really speak to sort of very sudden endings, sudden losses, you know, causing one to jump into this water, this dark, stormy waters, which of course we said was about emotions and despair and that kind of thing. To me, the Tower represents the higher mind, the crown chakra. It's thoughts and states of mind, your way of thinking. So your way of thinking might sort of either you get sort of this flash of lightning, which is maybe like a really big idea, or it might be that your way of thinking is suddenly destroyed in an instant because something has, you know, basically out of nowhere just come and just destroyed your whole way of thinking, your state of mind, everything. And so we're all jumping, you know, that happens, and so we leap into this stormy, dark water of despair and all those churning waters below. So when I think about the three elements together, the emotion of the moon, the very feminine aspect of the full moon, and then the fiery action of authority and status of the Emperor, which is representing Aries in this full moon, and then the Tower, which is the dramatic changes of the Tower. I read this to say that you can expect some dramatic changes to your way of seeing things, changes to the influence of authority figures in your life, or maybe indeed the way you practice your leadership might completely change. You might just have like a lightning flash moment where you say, this doesn't work for me. So you may choose to change things in your personal life and be more independent. Whatever happens, the change could be quite enlightening and probably quite dramatic. Everyone is different, so this might affect everyone differently. And so I would say don't be afraid of these changes. Just be aware of them. Be aware of how you are in your leadership, how you are either in leading others or indeed how you manage yourself and your own sort of like exterior, how you speak, how you move, what you say, how it comes over. Be aware of how you're, are you being dogmatic, or are you being authoritative in a way that is is harsh, because, you know, karma kind of is a bitch sometimes, but, you know, just keep that in mind. So one of the things I'd like to do again with this full moon and the feminine side of the full moon is what I'd like to do is to sort of balance these two elements here with the more intuitive feminine side of the full moon. And so what we could do is, if you'd like to join me right now, we're going to do a little sacral healing, a little sacral and solar plexus healing. So the solar plexus is this yellow color. It's the dominant driving color. It's the solar plexus is about 2 inches above your belly button. This is your driving force. This is your gut feeling, and that makes you move and jump into doing something, and really is the action element of your body. It's the masculine, and it's ruled by the sun and that fire energy. And then the feminine is in the sacral, which is about 2 inches below your navel. The solar plexus is 2 inches, just about 2 inches above your belly button. And the sacral, which is the feminine, the water, the cup, is in your womb area, which is about 2 inches below your belly button. So what I like to do is to balance some of that fiery, charge ahead, reckless Aries energy with some feminine, intuitive, gentle energy. And this may alleviate the explosive change of the tower moment, as you'll have more intuitive guidance as to what the trigger might be for this explosive moment. So if you would like to join me in a brief mindfulness exercise, where you'll do some breathing. We'll do some breathing, and we'll breathe that energy of the solar plexus, which is just above your navel, and I can actually feel it, sort of like I feel a little energy in that area, and just balance it with the sacral energy of the feminine womb. So if you're sitting and you just sit in your chair, try to sit upright as much as possible. Plant your feet on the ground. Put your hands on your legs, and just breathe in to your womb area. Breathe in, and imagine you're breathing in this beautiful, soft, golden light into your womb area. And you breathe in for 4, and exhale for 4. And again, breathing that beautiful golden, soft, golden light in for 4, and exhale for 4. Now, if you take your right hand, which is your masculine side, and put it onto your sacral, onto your womb area, about 2 inches below your navel, and then take your left hand, which is the feminine, and put it onto the solar plexus, which is the point just above your navel. And just imagine the two hands exchanging energy, your right hand exchanging energy with your left hand, back and forth in a loop. It can be either a loop from the front to your spine, or it can be a loop from left to right. And just keep breathing into that energy, that looping energy. Breathing in that beautiful, soft, golden light. And gently feel that energy moving between the sacral and the solar plexus. And if you feel any anxiety in that solar plexus during the month, you can just sit and do this exercise. If you're feeling anxiety, it's probably because your solar plexus is a little overactive during the energy, and you might feel a little overwhelmed, especially if you are an empath or if you're a sensitive person. So instead of being sort of active and getting things done. You'll just feel a little overwhelmed instead, and a little sort of firecrackerish instead of sort of pacing yourself. So just keep breathing and imagine that air, that energy just circulating between the solar plexus and the sacral. And just keep holding that energy there. And you should feel a little calmer now. You should feel like your energies come down and you feel a little grounded, a little more grounded now. And just take 3 more deep breaths in and release. And in and release. And in and release. And there you go, a really simple exercise to help you ground during these very volatile times. There's a lot of planetary action happening that I won't go into, and I don't need to go into. You know, once I saw these 2 cards, I knew what was coming. So with that message, you know what to look out for in the rest of the month, and to just do this really simple exercise to help you. Now, this energy won't carry out through the rest of the month, because we are going to move into a new moon, which is a more intuitive side. So yes, I'll definitely do another one of these for the new moon and another check-in. But be aware of these things happening, and just, you know, take some time out to ground yourself. Your affirmation for this time is, I love myself and cultivate the trust that whatever I call to myself is for the highest and greater good of everyone. Blessings to you all. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope that the rest of your month is just amazing. Take care. Bye-bye.